The belief that the president is the person with the capability of bringing development to a certain area because you are in a government or you are in support of his regime is something that should have been left back a long time ago in the era of the late former president Daniel Torotich Arap Moi. That is when you are in government and you are praise and worship team of the government, you will be getting benefits and development within the region that you come from. That is not the case with the new dispensation of our new constitution that is actually promulgating a devolution into our counties. People are paying taxes. Their monies that come in through the National Government Constituency Development Fund. And there's also monies that come directly through the counties to the governors to develop the counties. Therefore, we have also the roles of the MCAs who oversee such projects being undertaken. Therefore, it shows there need be for civic education in our nation because it has not sunk deeper into our brains. And why am I speaking so? Recently, we've seen President William Samoei Ruto touring different parts of the nation and saying, now that I have toured such a place, I have given you 20 million to do a certain project. I have put aside 50 million or 1 billion to make sure that this road from this area to this area has been fixed or has been constructed. That is a pure fallacy because the constitution knows so well that we need fair allocation of resources, equitable allocation of resources. Why? You are paying taxes that are in turn going to pay government employees that are in turn going to develop your area. Remember, as a business person, you also cater for the licenses. In every good that you purchase, we have a 16% VAT that is added onto it. Those are the monies that go directly into the treasury, and therefore we need to see development being carried towards certain areas and towards certain project, disregard of whether you elected the president, you voted him in or not. Because at the end of the day, remember, you give us your manifesto. It is us, the citizens, who check the manifestos vis-a-vis our interests, and we try to judge according to the previous track record that you have. Then we get to the ballot box. We take the person whom we feel will be able to deliver into our interest. Fortunately or unfortunately, the person that we may have voted for might get elected or might fail to get elected. So in this case, in 2022, we had William Samoei Ruto being voted in as the president and Raila Amolo Odinga losing. Unfortunately, what we presume as the opposition that should be keeping the government on checks and balances is now on bed with government. And the sentiments that they were making back then about how Ruto is not one person who's gonna make this country or steer this country towards the right direction, they are the people who are now crying foul by making sure he stays in power, disregarding of how the regime has been oppressive to the citizenry. They have always been actually, you see, state-sanctioned abductions. We've always extrajudicial killings, something that they did promise shall never happen. And up to date, we are trying to ask ourselves, what development program has this regime come up with? Even just one to be positive, we can find it. The president keeps on launching things that to us don't make sense or that's just my take. And when we talk about this issue, Some people feel like we are disloyal to the nation. We are not good citizens. You know, it is good to have logical debates when we are tackling these political issues. And it is good to always stand on the truth because once you are a principled person, it doesn't matter where you go to, it doesn't matter where you are, your principles still remain. What am I referring to? Just the other day, during the burial of Raila Amolo Odinga, long-term ID, that is Georgia, we all see Orengo giving or telling the president the truth, pure truth, right in his eyes. Even Sifuna, right in his eyes. I was so surprised to see yesterday some leaders gathering and holding a press to warn Orengo, even demanding him to write an apology to the president, saying that he did shame them in front of their visitor, who was President Ruto. And now they want the Luo Nyanza governors to declare if they are in this broad-based government or not. They even told Sifuna, the Secretary General for the ODM party, that you should not meddle into the issues of Nyanza. You should not have talked to the president that way in our region. You would have waited when he was in Bungoma for you to talk the way you are talking, or better, go to Nairobi and address him there. Not here in our place. You are lacking respect for our head of state. So I was like, again, are you the same people who are trying to muzzle our freedom of expression or freedom of speech? Must I wait for the president to come to my home region for me to address him? Or must I follow the president to the capital city in Nairobi and talk to him? Oh, that was ill-fetched and ill-advised. Therefore, it is good to note that any leader with the interest of the people at heart will make sure that they deliver. They do projects with preference to what the people want. If it is water, they will do that. These people should be able to bring development into your area. Therefore, if you see your interest as a citizen is not being considered within the county, within the constituency, or within the ward, then no, it is your leader who is not actually conducting their role as prescribed by the constitution or the mandate given to them during the swearing in as they were taking oath of office. What's your take on this? Kindly give me your take in the comment section below. If you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the unscripted talks here in Dub Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi
Kwa timu kali za
wabarakatuhu.
Afrika, Dub Radio ndio mpango mzima.